Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon. Salam Malaysia Madani. Salam anak baik lagi cerdik. And salam Perak, we deliver. Welcome to today's webinar Pelestarian, Hyping Up HIP. As an effort to ensure continuous implementation of the HIP in KPM schools and institutions in Perak, Sektor Pembelajaran JPN Perak took the initiative to carry out this webinar as a form of support and a platform for sharing of best practices. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am glad to be here today to discuss the exciting prospect of highly immersive programs in ESL learning in Malaysia's secondary schools and the crucial importance of integrating best teaching practices into these programs. Now, the objectives of highly immersive programs are abundant. Now, before we start, let's see with a brief overview of HIP. Now, HIP is a program introduced under the MBI policy in Malaysia. It aligns with the Malaysian Education Blueprint 2013 to 2025 and supports 5 key shifts, including equal access to quality education, proficiency in Bahasa Melayu and English, values-driven education, partnerships, and customized solution. HIP also reinforces the 1999 circular promoting English language to support activities in schools. Now, highly immersive program has 3 primary goals. Firstly, it is to ensure the continuity of highly immersive programs in school in the state of Perak. By establishing and maintaining these programs, we make a long-term commitment to fostering language proficiency, cultural appreciation, and global preparedness. Now, continuity is essential for providing students with consistent and meaningful exposure to the English language. Now, secondly, to support schools in highly immersive programs in terms of implementation. Now, recognizing that such programs can be complex to execute, we aim to provide comprehensive support resources and training to teachers. By doing so, we not only enhance the quality of ESL education, but also ensure that all schools, regardless of their specific circumstances, can participate and benefit from these programs. Now, thirdly, we want to create a sharing platform for best practices. Now, best teaching practices or best practices are not stagnant, they evolve with time and experience. Now, by establishing a platform for sharing, educators can exchange ideas, strategies, and innovations, resulting in continuous improvement and the refinement of teaching methods. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today we have 3 panelists who will share their insights, views, and teaching practices of highly immersive programs in school. Now, before we begin, let me please introduce the panelists today. First and foremost, we have with us Encik Mat Faisal bin Mat Yusof, the Ketua Penolong Pengarah Bahasa Sektor Pembelajaran JPN Perak. He first started in 1994 as an English language teacher in Johor, received his degree in TESOL, then completed his postgraduate studies in 2008 in pedagogy and curriculum. Now, he is a well-known figure in the state of Perak. Okay, he has been in JPN since 2012 as the English language officer. How are you, Mr. Faisal?
Alhamdulillah. Thank you very much for the
Okay.
well-known comment.
Okay, thank you. Now, Encik Faisal, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Siti Nur.
Yes.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to all. Uh, it has been how many years? Since 2016 that we have this thing we call HIP, right? Highly immersive program. And if you look at the slides there, Pelestarian in Malay, it means that how do we sustain this KPM policy, right? Highly immersive program. So let me take you back in 1999, where the Surat Perkeliling Ikhtisas Bilangan 1 1999, garis panduan pengenalian aktiviti sokongan bahasa Inggeris di sekolah. So actually, since 1999, the government, the Ministry of Education have been what they call very busy with how to enhance the usage of English language in school. If you look closely to this Surat Perkeliling Ikhtisas, or we call it SPI, dengan Surat Perkeliling Ikhtisas ini, semua sekolah hendaklah menjalankan aktiviti sokongan bahasa Inggeris bagi tujuan menambah masa pendedahan pelajar kepada bahasa tersebut. So this is 1999. So we go forward to 2016, where we have a new Surat Perkeliling Ikhtisas or SPI. Ada KPM Bilangan 4 tahun 2016, pelaksanaan Highly Immersive Program HIP Bahasa Inggeris di semua institusi pendidikan di bawah Kementerian Pendidikan Malaysia mulai tahun 2016. The difference with the previous SPI is that the word school, but this 2016 SPI di semua institusi pendidikan, all the educational institution under KPM, for example, schools, primary, secondary, Form 6 colleges, uh, vocational colleges, matrix, SBP, all that. So pelaksanaan highly immersive program bahasa Inggeris di semua institusi pendidikan di bawah KPM mulai tahun 2016. So this is the latest SPI. I hope all schools have this SPI in your files or whatever, in clouds or what. And the tarikh kuat kuasa, surat perkeliling ikhtisas ini berkuat kuasa pada tarikh surat perkeliling ini dikeluarkan, meaning that 2016 lah, and cancel the 1999 SPI, right? So we are using this 2016 SPI. And the approach of highly immersive program is stated in that new SPI. We have whole school approach and the outreach concept. Now, whole school approach meaning that it doesn't mean that it goes to the English panel. The whole school approach meaning that the whole panel must work together how to create an environment. Right? For example, if let's say the science panel is doing STEM, and at one point the students make some experiment and present it in English, there is HIP. All right, it doesn't mean that if it's highly immersive program, oh, it's English, it all goes to the English panel. No, no. Whole school approach. Work collaboratively and competitively among teachers and admins. And then outreach meaning that this one is via parents and community, where we can get them to school and give us some insight on how to expand the environment in English to help us maybe with financial or CSR activities, right? And then what is HIP actually? Like Sikino said just now, it is under MBI policy, mematabatkan bahasa Malaysia dan memperkukuhkan bahasa Inggeris. So this HIP is aligned with student aspirations in the Malaysia Education Blueprint 2013 until 2025. So please bear in mind that we are getting to 2025 in the future. So what lies ahead, there's a correlation with HIP. And now HIP is not just what you call, it is not one-off policy. It is ongoing process in order to get the students to use the language, right, in the school or outside the school, right? And in the end, can use the language in the community. Okay. So what is the MBI policy? The MBI policy is the policy of the Ministry of Education Malaysia to ensure the usage of Malay language as a medium of communication in all national schools and secondary schools, and to ensure that each child can master both Malay and English languages well and fluently. Right? So it supports five C's of the MED. Provide equal access to quality education of an international standard. So this one is more or less like no child left behind. We must provide equal access to quality education, and now with the new English language curriculum where it is aligned with CFR Cambridge, so meaning that we are into an international standard. And then ensure every child is proficient in Bahasa Malaysia and English language and is encouraged to learn an additional language and develop values-driven Malaysians, partner with parents, community and private sector at scale, empower JPN, PBDs and school to customize solution based on it. So along with no child left behind, so we must make sure that our children learn more than one language to prepare them for global. Right, in the future, our student will not be only working in Malaysia, but I believe they are going throughout the world. Right. Okay, this one is the what do you call the SPI just now. Is there any question for me, Sitino? Okay, nice. Okay, the highly immersive program aims to create a rich English language learning environment in schools. So when you have a rich English language learning environment, meaning that the kids, the students, the pupils are using language, right? We know that at home they don't usually speak English, but it is in school for 6 hours in school we get them to use the language, right? Increase contact time for English language use. Contact time here meaning that there's a in class, outside class, and then we have extra class, which is not extra class is not like class tambahan for exam, but extra class in using English. For example, maybe you have a camp, English in camp. You have speaking workshop. You have listening workshop. All these activities or programs to ensure our students use the language, and then strengthen the command of the English language among students. So it goes back to the no child left behind. And of course, if we look at the CFR line English language, the can do statements. So meaning that there's no weak, right? There's no what do you call? There's no failures. It's just that they use language in accordance to their level. Right. So HRP will increase exposure time to the language through its usage in out of class activities, sports, what else? Maybe a field trip. This is something new. Maybe field trip. You give some problem based activity to them, use in English. So when students play, interact, and have fun using English as a medium of communication and learning, they will develop an appreciation for the language and be comfortable to use it in their daily lives, right? Our students, they are young children. So when we have young children, the brain or the knowledge, they can absorb it quickly, right? They will embed whatever they have learned, and then they must have something, some activity or program, uh, some a catalyst to let them use the language. Hence, we have activities like the most. cliche is will be English week, English month, or right now we have TVET going on. Why not once a while we get the student to talk about what engines, I don't know, and then STEM talk about the environment, how to save the environment, and in the process we are assessing them, hence the PBD, right? So here HFP will run alongside programs for MBM and MBI to strengthen the proficiency in both languages. Right. So why is HFP introduced? The keyword here is support. Support. Even though, even if you look at the 1999 SPI, the word sokongan is there. So it's a mechanism of support from peer-to-peer learning. Peer-to-peer learning meaning that cooperative among the students and collaborative among the teachers. This is already, if I'm not mistaken, the 21st century skills, right? And we have the HIP toolkit, where a manual how to guide schools admin to implement HIP in school. And then in PPD we have coaches, SISC plus, right? Where they guide and then they help schools if there's problem they try to solve it, and JPN support these coaches. And then parents and community via PIBG in school. So parents and community, this is the time they are not what they call outside the school. They are with the school and they help the school how to solve, for example, many things, including the proficiency of English among the students. Okay, how is success measured? Okay, please bear in mind there is no academic KPI for the schools, as HIP is not meant to encourage exam-based learning. But in the HIP toolkit, there's a self-access tool where schools have to there's some instruments in that questionnaire, like it skills, right, points. So they calculated this and they will get the level of immersiveness, right? And yes, we for increase the usage and exposure of the English in school when they when the children are given positive catalyst, so positive behavior will change in school with the participation of the principals, teachers, students, parents, and community. All right. So in school we have the school head. The symbol is the anchor, and then teacher the door, student the learner, parents and community the supporter. Right. So as a school head, be a leader and constant motivator. Ensure sustainability. That is the Pelestarian. So today the objective is to refresh again the factors that can move HIP in schools to a greater scale. Right, school head is the anchor. Teacher create an English environment, right? Programs, tools, events, activities, and student take charge of personal development and learning, support teachers, right, and involve their parents in activities. And the support parents and community create an English environment. Some of the school we have board of directors. Then you can group in the board of directors how to lend help and assistance, how to provide financial aid, expertise. Maybe once a while, the parents come and say something like uh, occupation week. Talk about the occupation. I'm a fireman. I do this. I do that. I'm a teacher. I do, and then implement. In the end, they will implement CSR activities. Right? And these are the fundamental factors just now. It's all in the HIP toolkit. And if you're wondering where can I get this HIP toolkit, it's in the HIP portal. It's all there, even the self-access toolkit, and FAQs. It's all there. So we have fundamental factors for teachers. If you look here, create an English environment for English teachers, for all teachers. Why all teachers? Because the whole school approach, right? Encourage them and support them in using the English in school events and learning of English, right? Peer encouragement, be a leader and constant motivator, right? Professional learning communities, sharing of best practices, and encourage learning using English. So these are all you can download in the HIP portal. And then for students, encourage peers to use English. So we want all the students to work together, right? To work together and participate active in the English language activities and competition, right? Hence, the motivation will be there. We want the student to develop motivation for their future purposes, nah? And utilize alternative media to learn English. Right now, we are into 4.0, the IT revolution. There's a lot of apps in the internet now with how to support English language learning. You can explore that, right? Parents and community. And in terms of parents and community, the admin just now must they have to work together. They support actively via PABG to create school culture and environment that support the use of English, right? We have direct involvement like storytelling corner, and you can even like there's one school in Hudu Perak, they invited KL Shakespeare to the school. That is good. You can invite local cultural bodies in your district or in your area, then can work together, right, for their CSR purposes. And here is the HIP environment, the in class. Of course, in class you can other than fun learning, let's talk. This one we have what do you call? We use the SKP or the SOW, right? Out of class is to increase the contact time just now, right? You can even do it with other subject like physical education, right? Uh, Extra classes is beyond this in class and out of class. Maybe you make a speaking club, speaking workshop, listening or something like that, right? And outreach is uh, like field trips, parents in the house, pen pal program, little ambassadors. This is what we call outreach. Right? You can, if they say, you can even do it with a local stall selling nasi lemak. Then there will be the creative and innovative should be there. And implemented school empowerment just now. The admin is the most important thing because of the symbol anchor. If it is not just a symbol, the anchor itself is stern, not that straight, but have the will to implement HIP because it is the whole school approach. When it is the whole school approach, meaning that the leader is in principal or headmaster should be responsible. Support mechanism at district, state, and national level. As JPN and PPD, we support all these. You can even invite SSA Plus to give a talk or to generate some English language activities along with other subjects. And national level, yes, we have that too with the help of English language teacher center. and of course the whole school approach. So whole school approach, it is not like it's HIP, uh, bahasa English. No, but do please work together collaboratively, cooperatively, and because of that, like the output of the student, for example, SPM, the output, we have already four papers. Paper one is read and use of English. Read and use of English. Paper two is writing. Paper three is listening and speaking. If you ponder all these four papers, it goes back to the why HIP is implemented, right? Uh, so thank you. Any question?
Okay, thank you, Encik Faisal.
Yeah,
Okay, it's quite interesting. It's very interesting to see the history and the policy of HIP in Malaysian schools. Actually, it's not new, right, Encik Faisal? Since
yeah. It started
1999.
in yeah, and
So have you
all because our government is really they are thinking not for themselves, they are thinking for the kids, the future of the kids, the scenario of the our global scenario. So HIP, uh, hence why HIP is there.
okay? So Encik Faisal, can I ask you a question? Is that okay?
Can
Okay. So the it's quite easy to involve teachers and students, right? In
hmm?
HIP. Okay, but how about the parents, the community? Because as you've been talking, they also should play an important role in HIP programs. So could you please elaborate on how these parents and communities can foster a supportive environment for HIP in Perak?
Okay. Number one, the again the keyword support. It doesn't mean that support means money, right? Support means you have to have this. Support is you look at the school, school A, I want like that. No, when it comes to parents, the principal or headmasters, they have PIBG, right? Between that PIBG community, they have to engage with the YDP, and they have to tell them what do we want. It is not about they say that menginggriskan orang ya. No, it is not that. But it is another knowledge, and that knowledge is in school, and we just need to polish. And we when we engage this thing, it doesn't mean that, like again I say, money or that. It's just creativity and innovation. For example, if let's say during English week, all right? Monday,
Okay.
usually with Monday or Wednesday. Maybe the parents will come and prepare something on the stage, right? Just prepare something, put the word there. It's like that. So when that's happened, that's HIP. Where you have the outreach already. So if let's say the school have, can I say kaya? Rich? No,
Yeah.
no, but then don't follow others. We know who we are, right?
Okay.
What it is for our student. We know our student. So with the parents, we persuade them. Uh, how to persuade? Again, the SPI is there, right? We talk about them. We said Tuan PPD pun dah cakap macam ni. We need, and our country is going toward this, and maybe your kids in the future will not work in Malaysia. They will go to Dubai. They will go to Argentina to Argentina. So
Okay.
persuasion makes sense.
Okay, that's very good, Cik Faisal. It's an eye opener and a refresher for a lot of teachers out there, not just teachers, for all the community on HIP. Thank you, Cik Faisal, for your sharing session.
Thank you.
Okay, do you have any last words before we go?
Uh, no, I hope that we sustain this highly immersive program because it answers to all the question for the output. Always remember, our students, the output is SPM, and now Form 6 is in the fray. They're already using SOW, right, and the SKP. So meaning that if let's say the output for CFR is B2, isn't it?
Yes.
SPM B2. So you go to the next level, post secondary this one, Form 6, they can go to C1. So meaning that if they got that C1, meaning that all these European countries, they agreed, this kid, they endorse our
Yes.
student.
Okay.
That one we need that one.
Okay,
Okay,
true.
thank you.
Thank you, Encik Faisal. Okay, now we have a second panel for today. Puan Juliana binti Shaharom, the SISC Plus for PPD Kinta Utara. Okay, she has presented at numerous conferences, for example, the World Association of Lesson Studies Conference and National Conference on Classroom-Based Assessment. She was the panel editor for Jurnal Pendidikan Tekad Bestari and panel penilai kertas kajian Kolokium Pendidikan Negeri Perak. Now she has also served as the Vice President of Malta Perak Chapter 2022 to 2023. Now if you're in Kinta Utara, Puan Juliana is a very well-known figure. Okay, Puan Juliana, hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you, Sitino? Nice to meet you today.
Okay,
Are you
I'm very excited to hear your sharing session for today. So, Puan Juliana, without further ado, the floor is yours.
okay? Thank you. Just hold on. I'll just get my slide.
Okay.
Can you see the slide?
And National Conference on Classroom-Based Assessment. She was the panel editor for Jurnal Pendidikan Tekad Bestari and
Okay. All right. Can I begin now? Okay. For this particular session that I have with you today, we're going to talk about the implementation of HIP at the district level, especially from PPD Kita Utara. All right. Okay. So just now we have the opportunity to listen to Encik Mohd Faizal, our JPN officer in charge of English, our Ketua Penolong Pengarah. So basically, HIP stands for Highly Immersive Program. Yeah. And then it is actually, like mentioned before, is a whole school approach where we have is fundamentally supported by what we call the core factors, which is the anchor, the school heads, act as the motivator, and also we have teachers, the doer, who provide the conducive environment for this immersion to happen. And we also have pupils who are the main person who is supposed to learn and supposed to be immersed in English and learn from this. And we also have fundamental factors of our parents and community, which provide support and expertise and possibly provide an conducive environment for them at home outside school. And then this approach of HIP covered by 4 pillar activities we call in class, which where teachers create some engaging, effective program like a project-based learning or fun learning and PAK 21. We also have out of class activities and then extra class and outreach as explained by Encik Fazal earlier. Right. So what is immersion learning? So immersion is actually an approach for language education to use the student's environment as the primary means of teaching. It's learning a language like babies do actually, right? So how we learn language through our environment. What are the things that we consume, the sound, the images, the things that appeal to our senses. And it's based on the idea that we plunge our student into an exclusively English environment, and then we learn much faster when than using our traditional teaching methods. So it emphasizes the environment as the primary way of learning language. So in this way, in our HIP program, we try to support whatever uh, English language learning that we learn in class via all the other co-pillar activities that we mentioned earlier. So we expose English to our students on a daily basis. Like nowadays in this I believe now we live in a globalized era where everything is at our fingertips. Things can be accessed anywhere, everywhere, constantly 24/7, 24/7, 365. And then these somehow provide a lot of exposure, provide a potential for us to be exposed to English in a variety of contexts. We can play games, we can watch film, we can listen to songs, we can comment on social media, we can engage on online discussion and attending webinar like what we are doing right now. Right. So the program, as it targets on to increase self-assess level, and then to somehow increase the acceptance of learning English language itself, right? And this, in eventually, as an output of this program, we hope that the overall English proficiency of students will be improved after this program. So our ministry has come up with a HIP toolkit where we can find the self-assessment tool that we can use to determine the level of English immersiveness. And from that, we can determine what are the gaps, what are the capacity gaps that we might encounter. And then we can use the guidebook provided in the toolkit to see some best practices that been applied and recognized, to and then be adapted to our school in order to improve the level of immersiveness and to make the learning of English more fun and encouraging. And then in the HIP toolkit, of course, after identifying the levels and capacity, we need to come up with a strategic plan in order to make sure the HIP program runs smoothly. Right. So what is the function of the District Education Office? So our main function is to provide a support system. So as mentioned earlier, SICs are available to help, and we also, as a District Education Office, make sure that HIP program are coordinated, and then we become the anchor person or the key personnel that you can refer to. And then we also monitor like what's going on through the dashboard provided by ELTC. And then we also mentor teachers in cases where they require help and assistance to determine which level or to identify which gap or what activities are suitable to meet the students' need. And then we provide support system for the school head to create English environment in school, and then to make sure that the school head become the, like Encik Faizal mentioned just now, the anchor, the motivator, the leader, and then to ensure that HIP is not a one-off program, to make sure that HIP is not a ceremonial program or just for makeup purposes, right? You must make sure that HIP is a sustainable program that could lead to give a positive impact to our students in terms of mastering the English language, right? So school head also play a role in making sure that parents and community can be involved in this HIP program. And then school head can also steer the strategic planning for the HIP activities. Because without planning, then it may not run smoothly, and it may not achieve the objective or the target intended, or it may not meet the needs of the students that we have in our school. And then district office also provides support system for teachers in order to guide teachers to come up with assessment tool, and then the planning and the implementation, and how lesson can be more effective, teaching and learning be effective in a much fun way, and more engagement can be achieved. And then somehow help teachers to organize events and activities that's relevant and impactful for the purpose of highly immersive program, right? And then in the end, help teachers to monitor and record to make sure the implementation plan is run smoothly according to parameters unique to each and individual school. Right. So this is how the HIP support system works, right? So as a personnel from PPD office, we come up with orientation workshop and training and seminar for teachers to see, experience, and implement, or perhaps provide a platform for school to share or visit other school or modeling school in order to strengthen the delivery of the HIP program in school. So this is for the purpose of educating and perhaps building capability of the teachers, and also to create interest in other teachers, like what we heard earlier, that HIP is a whole school approach. So it's not necessarily unique to English teachers, but every personnel in school can be involved in it. So we need to spread or support this knowledge and impart this knowledge to everyone that's related to school, right? So from there, we have that we also identify certain school head on head of panels to come to PPD at PPD level to share and to conduct sharing session of their best practices. And at times, certain things during dialogue or during visits, during certain programs like in Kita Utara, we have what we call OTP program, or Operasi Turun Padang. We take the opportunity to inquire and find out how effective the HIP program is run in each school. And then so during curriculum meetings, things especially during I think a district panel meeting, for example, for the panel of English during a district level, we do make a point to discuss about HIP implementation, and we do conduct some sharing through the help of very able head of panels and a group of teachers or JUs who've been around and been doing this since 2016 to come and share with teachers in that session. So we also have used certain platform like national level colloquium, or recently in PPD Utara we just conducted our Hari Terbuka. We used that platform in order to share some best practices that we found in certain schools, so that we can spread the interesting ideas or novel ideas or up to date technology that you can use in order to make HIP more interesting and more effective. So throughout the year, we can also notice if some of you have received the certificate award recognition that you are of level 3 and level 4 of for a level of immersiveness in your school. So, and we in PD Utara, we are lucky we have group of teachers who are motivated and ever ready to share and willing and doesn't mind spend their time, money, and expertise with other teachers. And we have certain events where we have carnival in one school, or we have camps in another school, and we invite certain teachers, certain group of schools to come and share their experience with one another. So in that sense, we are lucky to have this able and creative and wonderful teachers around in Kinta Utara. Okay, so I will elaborate further on the HIP support system in Kinta Utara and how it strengthened delivery in school. Right, so this is what I mentioned earlier, that how we make sure that we done some workshop and training to explain all the components of program or policy that's related to HIP. And then we we conduct district English panel activities, HIP activities via district English panel. So we have planned some activities that can make an impact to their English proficiency. And we also do conduct needs analysis through survey, through Google form, to dialogue with teachers during our panel heads meeting. And I want to introduce something about community of practice in PPD Utara that makes HIP um, um, done quite interesting and impactful. So this is a main thing that I want to share today, which is the community of practice in the running of HIP in PPD Utara. Right. As I explained earlier, how all these are integrated, the pillar activities, we have in-class activities. So whenever you see HIP, please not to only think of activities that fun but one-off, or something that we just plan and do and forget about it. No, it's interconnected. So everything that is under English is under HIP. So we have for in-class activities, we can incorporate all the things that we've learned or we have heard, we have received through the 21st century learning, teaching and learning training. We also can consider all the higher order thinking skill activities that to make your lessons more engaging and more interactive and more fun for the kids and could be more meaningful in a way. So not to forget to use all these strategies in order to enhance your performance-based, classroom-based assessment. And then um, we also have heard under HIP, we have what we call remedial instruction program. This one caters for the time being, caters for year 4 students. Then we are this group of teachers who have received the training, receive what I call it a toolkit, and then there's a toolkit how to incorporate these activities in the toolkit using differentiated strategies in order to make sure no child left behind. Because remedy instruction program is to cover kids who have not achieved TP minimum TP3 at the start of level 2 primary. So in the toolkit, they somehow cover all the learning standards that they're supposed to be able to do. All these can do statement they're supposed to cover when they are in year 1, year 2, and year 3. So we also have what we call reading progress. So this is the involvement or usage of AI, artificial intelligence, in order to help our students to be able to pronounce word correctly with the help of AI. And we also have what we call plant literacy and numeracy program, which that one is covered year 2 and year 3 students who do not achieve TP2, do not achieve at least TP3 in English. So that is also by way of differentiated strategy. So you see all these interesting activities, interesting suggested activities in the toolkit can be incorporated in class activities so that lesson can be more interesting and students become more motivated in order to learn English. We also under extra class we have we have remedial. For extra class can be used as remedial activities or can be used as enrichment activities. So it become a support mechanism, right? And we can also involve parents and community for this extra class. So not necessarily just the teacher, not necessarily just the English teachers to be involved in the extra class activities. Same goes with out of class. We can use the co-curricular activities or the co-academic activities in order to boost our students' confidence in learning English, right? So here we expect some behavioral change, positive behavioral change towards the learning English, so that the kids do not feel shy or do not feel embarrassed that if they when they learn or try to attempt to speak in English. So the last pillar activities, we have outreach. So in this sense, as a district level unit, education unit, we encourage, we try to try to expose the school as to all the possibilities that you can get involved in, possible platform that you can involve in. For example, there's Maxis A class, there's Finco Reads, and there's also KL Shakespeare, which are free that you can access and use online in order to fulfill this particular component activities. Okay, so in implementing the HIP, we have to remember the cycle of the effective cycle of implementation following the PDCA format, which is we plan, do, check, action, and these cycles is provided in the toolkit and guidebook given to us. So you have to start with the assessing the level of immersiveness in school, involving the school head, teachers, students, parents, and community. And I believe right now most of the teachers are doing it because we are going to test it to see your level at the end of the year. So after you self-assess at the beginning of the year, for example, you can identify which level you are, and then what are the gaps, and how we fill the gaps, or what are the areas that we can focus on, whether the focus should be on in-class activities, extra class, outreach, or out of class. But I'm not saying that you can't, you only select a few, but it depends on your needs. So the more you involve, you get the activities, or you more you involve the kids with the activities, the better, because we require a greater level of immersiveness for HIP program. So after you identify the gaps, you develop a strategic plan. A sample of the strategic plan is also provided in the toolkit. And then we implement the plan. We can use the guidebook. We can refer to the suggested activities or best practices that been given there, or we make adaptation according to parameters that we have in our school. So once it's run, we review and improve on the strategic planning. And then at the end, we measure the student outcomes. So this is the PDCA cycle that we have to follow in order to make sure that the HIP program is an effective program and it's not simply a one-off program. So key consideration when you do conduct HIP is the planning. So planning is very important to make sure that we achieve the required immersive level. And then we make sure that when talk about immersiveness, I think I've shared a photo there about how to excite all the senses of our kids when it comes to learning the language. I mean, it can through taste, it can through touch, it can through sight, it can utilize our what we hear and what we smell. We also can utilize all the basic language skill that we know we can use. Some activities that involve listening, that involve reading, how kids consume language. And we can also consider activities that allow or enhance their ability to speak and to write. So that is the output or the product aspect of learning language. So take risks, and then we implement and see what works and what not, what appeal to the kids, what do not, and then what problems that we might encounter and how we solve it. So if we don't take risks, sometimes we cannot get the higher stakes they are, the greater chance that we reap the benefit, right? Okay, so bear in mind, as I mentioned earlier, we live in a globalized world where everything is at our fingertips. So embrace it. I think nowadays we are shocked by the introduction of artificial intelligence. Don't fear it, embrace it, figure out how to make use of it to garner the interest of our students in school. And then try to make it as close to the real world as possible, because the kids needs to see, our student needs to see how English language is close to them in their life, is everywhere, and they find purpose for learning the language, right? When you make it real. And then enjoy the experience. Allow kids to enjoy, right? Allow them to explore, but with certain boundaries. So we provide the boundaries because we are the adults, so we are the teachers. Guide them what is right and what is wrong, and then try to keep the activities different or fresh so that the kids can benefit from the new experience. Yeah, and then do provide evaluation, do provide feedback in order to gauge what works and what do not in your HIP activity. Right, so this is what our district PPD Kita Utara has done in order to somehow train the teachers to understand how HIP are interrelated to the teaching of English. So the first picture on the left is our training session with some Bahasa Melayu teachers, because we want to introduce to them about how the whole approach involves not only a whole approach of HIP program involves not only the English teachers, but also how Bahasa Melayu teachers can contribute. So we conduct some workshop and see how they can fill in the HIP activities in their out of class activity there. We also have HIP sharing session with our district panel head meeting. So I take the opportunity to share all this, and then I think our JPN officer Encik Farzal also came to our district and panel meeting in order to share about HIP. And then we also conduct workshop to teachers to introduce to them what HIP, every program under hashtag HIP, which is plan program, plan literacy and numeracy workshops. And then we try to unpack, we conduct a workshop to unpack and mapping the curriculum, how we can incorporate all the HIP ideals into our teaching and learning, and how we can utilize the extra time, the extra platform, the extra opportunity that you can get through extra class, out of class or outreach program. Okay. And then this one is some examples of activities that we've done at the district level, where we involve, we have Binone English Professional Discourse, where we provide a platform for teachers to share their best practices and they exchange ideas, and we have a discourse as to what works and what do not, and what are the issues that we can somehow solve it together. And then we also encourage a lot of speaking activities, like what the SJKT English district panel did. We had a video review competition, and then they watch a video. I think it's a cartoon, Disney one shot cartoon. Then they're supposed to give their feedback and review on it. So we also have a outreach program with the DAI English, or Direct Academia International, where they came to our district and we conduct some STEM-like activities using experiments with and then using English to make the activities fun for the primary kids. And then recently we conducted the digital storybook writing competition using the Book Creator app. So you see how some kids are not comfortable to come to the front and speak, but they like to write. So we provide this kind of activities and platform for them to explore in their HIP program. Right. So for training purposes as well, as I mentioned earlier, we are lucky to have wonderful teachers who like to share. So for example, we have a creative pedagogy workshop conducted by Mr. Mohana to to somehow give fresh ideas and interesting ideas or creative ideas that you can impart or utilize in the classroom. And then from all the sharing, for example, this is a sample activity conducted by SMK Poilam. After all the inspiration and ideas shared by our wonderful teachers, this particular teacher implemented in her school, right? So regard to SJKT's Ladang Stratila, we have satu hari satu bahasa. So they utilize peer assisted learning in order to run their extra class HIP program. And then it caught on to other subjects, not just English. I think after that they have other subjects who are uh, using the same strategy. And I think this school have run a wonderful podcast, like they have some kids make a podcast and share it in their social media platform. Um, and then we also encourage journal writing to create stamina. So we had conduct a workshop for journal writing, and this one has been going on in around the school. And then the kids have come up with wonderful journals, and they practice every day. Right. As I mentioned just now earlier, we talk about community of practice. So from all that we have done, we create a what we call community of practice. We started off with sharing with, as you can see, the ISEL Interact Extraordinaire 2023. We had a sharing, and then we had a workshop, and after that we every teachers who have come who joined this program, we further share these ideas or wonderful activities, HIP activities in a international seminar or the ISEL. So 19 teachers presented that day and done a sharing. So one of them will present later as one of the panel this afternoon. So we also have what community of practice via this particular program conducted by SMK Raja Permai Bainon, where we have many travel fair, where, as I mentioned, yes, I think just now there's a question about how to get parents involved. So this particular activity held in Bainon Mini Travel Fair is an open classroom where parents come and join this activity and somehow support by because it's like a mini mata fair where I think of one particular booth open up a cafe and show how food in France look like and whatnot. So it is a fun activity where people can have realistic experience, and the parents can see how HIP program are done using all these project-based learning activity. So we also have HIP Carnival conducted by MGS, where Mr. Mohana had conducted this carnival using incorporate English with almost all the subjects there are in school, and then he invited students and teachers from neighboring school to come and experience HIP in the school. So this committee of practice, and then we plan one for SK. For SK school, we plan to have English in camp due somewhere this month. Hopefully it can run smoothly for primary school. So as you can see how from the very beginning, from one school, you can somehow share with another school, and in the end you get to share, you get to understand, you get to experience what other teachers have encountered, or how other teachers plan their HIP activities, and in the end you become one community that support one another. So it's nice to see that this happening even without PPD or district education office instruction. The teachers has come up their own initiative and invite the neighboring school to join and experience the HIP program. Right. So as a district level, as I mentioned earlier, we take all these best practices and we showcase during our hari terbuka or carnival or every opportunity that we have to show how English can be fun and interesting for the kids to learn, right? So like this case, the one in for Heritable for secondary, Datin Shimi has shared some interesting activities that you can use using IT, and then in primary we have Puan Wadani Masno sharing what the kids can do and how they can have fun in HIP activities. Okay, this is I'm going to about to end my presentation. So one thing about immersion, it can be effective to learn language, but doesn't mean that you will pick up the language automatically. So somehow we have to plan. We have to make sure the students aware of all this language, right? So how you come up with HIP activities is basically you do things that you normally do, but just do it in English, right? If you want to learn a language, you have to surround yourself with it and use it, right? Use it, you speak, listen, respond, and communicate, not just be in there and do nothing, right? So use our senses. No matter which approach you choose, it's important to remember that learning a language involves dedication, consistency, and practice. Thank you for your attention. I think that's all from me. All right. Any question? Any question?
Puan Juliana. Thank you, Puan Juliana. Hello.
Hello. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Puan Juliana, thank you. I have a question for you
Okay.
before we end. Okay, from your experience as an SIC plus, okay, what is the typical issue faced by teachers, and how should the district officer or the district office resolve the issue that is typical
Issue.
among teachers?
Okay. One of the issue, of course, uh, the first question, the first thing that normally teachers say is that time, money, right? Time and money. Oh, I have so many things to do. I have lesson. I have syllabus to cover. How I try to make teachers see is that I want teachers to see HIP is not isolated from your teaching and learning. It's supposed to support teaching and learning. It's supposed to provide you the extra time that you said, I cannot finish my syllabus. I cannot cover all the topics. Use the extra class for your remedial, for your enrichment activities. Use the out of class activities, which provide more space for you. That means the involvement of parents and community. Conduct what some sample I've shown you. Create a community of practice to help you to ease the burden of doing all this, because it seems like a lot, isn't it? A lot of preparation involved, but if you have a committee of practice, you somehow can support one another, and with the ideas, sometimes coming up with a program is like cracking your head trying to come up with activity that's suitable for you. It take a lot of time and energy. So be involved with the committee, be aware of what our friends are doing. So try to see all this as not a waste of time. I've heard of that actually. I heard some school heads say, "Oh, this is a waste of time. Kids should be focused on drilling, focus on answering exam." No, it's not detached of learning, because language doesn't only happen in a classroom. So that's the whole objective of highly immersive program. You immerse, just like a baby. How do we learn language? We learn by being there. We learn from the sound, from the input, from the things that we see, we feel, we touch, and whatnot. So
Okay, very true,
by
Puan
default,
Juliana.
thank you.
Okay, very sure. Thank you, Puan Juliana. Okay, for
Mm.
your very insightful sharing. Viewers, you can ask any questions or provide any comments in the comment section. At the end of the the speech today, at the end of the session today, we can ask our speakers if you have any other questions. Okay. Now, last but not least, I would like to invite the last speaker, Miss Charanjit Kaur, daughter of Darasik from SMK Aminuddin Baki. She has presented at a few conferences, such as the DICELT conference, with the title Developing English Rich Speaking Environment Among Pupils Through HIP. She is the public speaking trainer for Kinta Utara District and also the co-academic technical officer of Kinta Utara District. Hello, Miss Charanjit.
Hello, Puan Siti Nur. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Okay, Miss Charanjit, the floor is yours. Without further ado.
Okay, Puan Siti Nur. Thank you very much. All right, so let me share the screen here first. Okay, can you all see the screen? Is it clear? Puan Siti Nur, can you see the slide?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, one
Yeah.
minute. Just a minute. I think I have some
Okay, it's okay.
All right.
It's okay. Fine.
Okay, can you see the screen now?
Okay. Yes, we can. Okay, I can see. Okay, Miss Charanjit, you can begin.
Wait.
Okay. Okay, it's clear.
Okay, is it clear?
Yes, I can see. Okay, Mr. Ranjit, it's okay.
Okay, sorry for the technical problem. All right. Okay. Uh, all right. First of all, okay, good day and salam sejahtera to Encik Faizal, Ketua Penolong Pengarah Bahasa JPN Perak, Puan Juliana, Pegawai SIC Plus, PPD Kinta Utara, and all the viewers on this platform today. All right. First of all, I'm so glad that I given the opportunity to be part of this discussion and share the best practices in sharing the best practice for HIP. All right. So I'm pretty sure by now, okay, all of you, you are really you know about this highly immersive program. All right. It is not something novice to all the teachers and educators. So as highlighted by Encik Faizal and Puan Juliana, some important aspects on HIP. So I am here today to focus, okay, I will focus more on in the perspective of school, okay, where school is actually the platform where HIP should be implemented. All right. So I am here to share the best practices that we have carried out, okay, in SMK Aminuddin Baki Cemo. In terms of like carrying the activities with the students. Okay, our students are our main clients. All right. So we share do carry out the activities with our students, and of course English panel, and not forgetting the entire school. Actually, everyone are part of HIP. It's not only the English teachers, as how mentioned by Puan Juliana just now. All right, to begin with, let me share, first of all, the problems and issues that faced by my school, okay, the students in my school, okay, what are the problems and the issues. First of all, struggling learners, okay. Struggling learners here, they lack of confidence. So they struggle to learn English. So they have mental barriers here, mental block to accept, to learn the new language. For them, English is a second language, and some of them, they have difficulties to accept learning the language. Because why? They fear of making mistakes. So this is where they struggle. Next is their attitude. Okay. Nowadays, students, some of them, they are lazy, shy, too shy to speak, and their anxiety level increases. Okay, so they feel very fearful. Okay, they fear the friends would laugh at them when they make mistakes. Okay, so they could not take the criticism. So this somehow rather will affect them mentally. So they straight away mental block not to involve or speak the language. Next is language acquisition. Language acquisition is low vocabulary skill. So we discover that students should have big, should have wide knowledge of vocabulary. When you learn a lot of words, so I think you don't have the struggle to whether in your speaking, in your reading, or in your writing. Okay, speaking and writing especially. All right. So lack of motivation towards acquiring this language, because probably maybe they have no any exposure, okay, no any platform, no any chance for them given to show or increase their motivation. And next is, of course, their L1 influence. They speak in their mother tongue, all right? The Chinese, Indian students, and also Malay, they use Bahasa. So all this hinders them from speaking the language. They could not get a proper word to use in English when they communicate. So they just keep quiet, okay? All right, so these are the problems. Next. So effect of the problem here is we have poor and weak academic performance. Academic performance here, we refer to the test, monthly test, examinations, okay. Classroom-based assessment, PBD, all right, okay, classroom-based assessment. And then they unable, so this makes the school unable to achieve, even the students, they unable to achieve the target, the school, the teachers as well. Next is inhibit participation. Okay, inhibit participation here is whether they are individual or you give them work in group or pair work, they still have the fear, even though they work together with their partner, okay. So this was the problem that we have because they don't have, like I said, you don't have enough vocabulary. They do not know what kind of words to use to communicate with friends, or when the teacher is speaking in English, they might not understand. So this discourage them to participate in the activities in the classroom or outside the classroom. Again, just now I said, so this will give them mental barriers. So they become inactive learners, okay? They become inactive learners. They isolate themselves, okay? The students, they isolate themselves. They become introvert learners. So how to overcome this, okay? So next step was, okay, this is what we had, okay, SMKABC strategic planning. Okay, as you can see the arrow, we highlighted there, okay, peratus murid menyertai pertandingan co-academic bidang bahasa. So as you can see, we did not specifically mention that HIP in that program, but this co-academic bidang bahasa, HIP is integrated there, all right? So, however, in the next, when we revise our strategic planning, so HIP would be part of this integration. We will put HIP in this strategic planning because we could see some achievement and performance, positive performance and positive feedback from the students and of course from the teachers as well. All right, so the next in the planning, HIP will be integrated in this strategic planning. Okay. Okay, so here, SMK ABC panel, English panel, came up with this HIP umbrella. I call it HIP umbrella because we are all under one roof, you see. So we came up with these activities. Of course, every school, they have speakers corner. All right, so we start off with speakers corner. And then here I put there 250 is not exactly, it's approximately, okay. We started off with a small number first, all right. Then we started from 2018 until now. It is an ongoing assessment, ongoing process. So this depends, the activities we carry out, I will explain later. Then we have HIP task, okay, early birds, PBL, project-based learning, journal writing. You have a 30-day journal book. Then Ramadan HIP book. So Ramadan HIP book is specifically during Ramadan month, okay. So this is an outreach program. So we have HIP book, and after that HIP pocket book. Okay, HIP book is the book, it's a small book, exercise book that we use. But HIP pocket book is for students where we launched in September this year, September 2023 and onwards. This is for them to carry this book wherever they go. It's a pocket book. So whenever they hear any words or any new words they learn or they discover, they just jot down in the book. All right. Okay, speakers corner. Okay, the first activity we have. Okay, what do you do in the speakers corner here? What is the function of the speakers corner? So we in school, we prepare this platform. This is the platform that we prepare for the students to show their hidden talent. I call this hidden talent. Actually, each child, they have their own specialty. All right, they are special in their own way. It's just that you have to push them. You have to give them the uh, opportunity. Okay, so Speakers Corner is the platform for them to uh, uh, expose their talent. Of course, at the beginning we had little bit. Of course, I don't say that we don't have any challenges. Definitely, we have challenges, but everything starts from minority, right? Minor numbers until they will join the activities every time we have this activity. Okay, so you can do short speeches, telling stories is not lengthy stories. It's just like what do you tell me something about yourself, or whatever they can share, anything that related to them. It is a place where they can express their feelings, their thoughts. Okay, they can share with their friends. And then role play, short role play, can be singing. There are students, they're very good in singing, so they sing English songs, and short sketches. And then heart to heart talk, it's between the teacher or maybe between the students and student. Okay, they talk about any certain topics. Okay, and sharing thoughts, or maybe sometimes we have quizzes. So that are some activities that we carry out at Speakers Corner. Actually, teachers out there, you can carry out. These are some of them, but you can have any activity at the Speakers Corner according to your students' ability, and of course your creativity. And like what Puan Juliana mentioned just now, planning. You have to plan first. What do I do this week? And what about next week? And as what Puan Juliana mentioned, that you must have new themes, new topics. Okay, and let me share here that for the topics that we just don't really at random we choose any topic, but of course we will take the topics that is based on the textbook. Okay, CEFR textbook. Because indirectly, okay, when you have students having textbook in the classroom, so they might sleep, they might get bored. So you're just looking at the words, looking at the pictures. But take the same activity in the textbook, CEFR textbook. Now you have listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So you can choose any activity. Like if you feel like doing any speaking activity, take any topic from the CEFR, the textbook, and make it outside classroom activity with them at the Speakers Corner. I'm sure you will see the difference, definitely. All right. Next, okay. Okay, next is HIP tasks. These are the HIP activities. When do we carry out this? Of course, like what we as teachers, you must be telling that, okay, I have a lot of things to do. I have no time. But you have to find time, or try to find time, and I'm sure, of course, at the beginning you will struggle, but later on it will become a habit that you must carry out. And students, trust me, students are really eager, and they are always waiting to join this activity. Okay, so last year we did these activities every Tuesdays, okay, during recess. So this is learning beyond the classroom. They are not confined in the classroom. It's beyond the classroom. All right. So 30 minutes recess. So during that recess time, they are given tasks, they are given activities where they answer questions, and then of course they are given rewards. So the rewards could be in stationaries, in the form of stationaries, food. So food here specifically, my school, we give our students nasi lemak. So they actually always look forward to get their nasi lemak. Or sometimes we prepare coupons where they can shop in our school co-op. Okay. So source of money, we get source of money from various sources. All right. Okay. Next is early bird. This activity we carry out every Tuesday, 7 to 7:15 every morning. So Tuesday is our English day. So it is carried out at the assembly point. So here you have questions for students, like in the form of games, quizzes, question and answer, or sharing thoughts. You can even ask the students to come on the stage and share their thoughts in any topic. Probably you might say it is something that we are nearly to Independence Day. So probably ask them to share, what do you know about Malaysia? Okay, what can you share? What do you know? What can you share about Malaysia? Depends. Okay. So of course here also they are given reward. Okay, they are rewarded. So actually this reward is a kind of motivation for them to join the activity. If you ask question and there is no reward, you will only get one-way communication. That's it. You are the one only talking on the stage, or you are the only one talking in the classroom. Same thing, similarly, you can do the same thing in the classroom. Have something to, it can be one simple pen, okay? Students, can be one simple pen, or can be something very simple, like a bookmark that you get. Give them anything as a motivation. So on early bird, we have 2 English teachers, and the target here is PKI, Pendidikan Khas Integrasi, Form 3, Form 4, and Form 5, morning session. All right. Okay. Next, we have project-based learning. Okay. Project-based learning, we did in Form 4 last year. We focused on Form 4 students last year. We choose a unit or topic in full blast, and the duration that we gave to our students to prepare their project-based learning is approximately 2 months, but depends on the preparation. If you think you need to give them more time, you can at least another 2 to 3 months. All right. So then here students, they come up with scrapbooks, games, models, posters, handouts, brochures. So we had an exhibition. Later I will show the pictures. So they have an exhibition on these certain topics. And trust me, students, when you give them the chance, probably you must be thinking, ayah, saya aja kelas yang belakang, okay, last class. So I don't think so my student can do. Don't underestimate your students. Probably they are better than us. You see, because furthermore now it is a technology era. They can do wonderful things actually. So as for me, one of my friends, she did with first class, and I did with the second last class, which I was really shocked that they really did it. Okay, so they came up with games. When they had this exhibition for the students to answer, other students come and visit the exhibition and they answer question. They have a kind of games where you answer question, you play the game, answer the question, and you get your reward. The reward can be sweet, can be anything like a bookmark or anything like a pen. Okay, you give to the visitors. All right. Next, we have food bank. So food bank, actually we started in a very small scale in 2019. So during the COVID-19, it became a major program. So this food bank is actually, we prepare a shelf, okay, where we place the food, okay, groceries, specifically groceries, okay, or maybe food like for students during recess. We buy some food and place them at the food bank there. So actually here to help the needy families. You see, our students, there are some students who come to school with empty stomach and they don't have money to eat. So that is the purpose. We had this food bank, but we transform it into one of the HIP program by you take and you speak in English and you take your food. Okay, so this one we started with 25 students in the afternoon session. Okay, so they get food during recess. Why 25? Because these are the, of course, you have to do some survey which students are really poor. They really needy students, they really poor. So give them this food during that session. All right. As for the morning session, we have infak Jumaat. Infak Jumaat actually is, we don't really specify to the needy people. It's to everyone. So at the beginning, we started with a small number of students, but as the time goes and the students begin to enroll in the activity, so we open it to all the students. Okay. Next project base is herbs garden. Okay, this herbs garden is actually we prepare more on plants. We created a section, okay, where we plant herb plants, and we label them. So indirectly, students learn the name of the plants, and then they know the benefits or uses of the plants. So of course, they have to take care of the plants. They take turns to water and care together. All right. So we start this program also. We started with Form 4. Okay. So 2 classes are actually responsible for handling. So we will choose 2 classes alternately. Journal writing. Journal writing is also another HIP program. So this journal is written by one of my colleague, okay, Puan Rosita, with her partner Jenny Ho. Okay, so we tell students to purchase this, buy this journal. Okay, so you have 30 days journal, but doesn't mean the student must finish it within the 30 days. So give them some time. There are questions. It's very colorful. Okay, so there are questions in the journal, and you have to answer accordingly. All right. So this is actually in class activity. 7 classes are involved. So we take mixed ability. So skills that we focus for this journal writing is writing and speaking. So pupils write their thoughts, their ideas, and share them with peers and teachers. Of course, teacher have to find time to check their journal in the class. Okay, it's not that you collect the journal, you mark the journals, but as you check their journals, you can give comments and remarks to the students to improve better. All right, so let's look at the pictures. Okay, let's take a look now. Right. So this is the first program that I mentioned, Ramadan month. So this is actually they read. It's a third. You have this booklet, Ramadan booklet, where you read information related to Ramadan. So doesn't mean it's Ramadan month and only you only focus on the Muslim students, but there are non-Muslim students who are really they volunteer themselves to read. And this one we read it on the speaker. That means the whole school can hear. In the school, we have in the speaker. It's not in the assembly, so it's in the speaker. Okay, the whole school will hear the information. Then team-based activity. Team-based activity here is that, as you can see, like I said, it's your creativity. So we have this, you can create a spinning wheel, and then this one we purchase, my friend purchased it from IKEA. All right. So like I said, we have to find some time and have some effort to create these materials for the students. So this is a spinning wheel. You stick the question, okay, related to the theme or topic that you want to focus on that particular day. So when they answer, they spin, and then they answer the question, and that's it, they get their rewards. Next is this is the herbal plant that I talked about, I mentioned just now. We name it as OCs, okay, herbal plants. Mix and match with MACD. Okay, MACD here, okay, we will buy. Sometimes we get sponsor MACD. So we use that and give the students the food. Okay. Of course, the question that you ask is all related all are in English. Okay, second one is this is what the activity that we have every Tuesday. Actually, but this year we are doing it every Thursday. Yeah, okay. So as you can see the pictures, there are non-English teachers there. All right. So one sentence in English and you get your nasi lemak. So if they don't say, and they have to say one sentence in English in order to get the nasi lemak. So somehow or other students will try their level best to say their sentence in English. So I don't say that their grammar is no error in grammar. Like I said, this is where they are not fear to make mistakes. They don't care. I make mistake is okay as long as I get my nasi lemak. You see? So this is how you are bringing the students, overcoming the students' fear. All right. So this is carried out during recess. So as they eat, they have fun together with their friends and teachers. Next is Speaker's Corner. These are the activities. So these are some pictures. Speak your mind and express your feelings. All right. Okay. Next is project based. Okay. So here, the project based that I mentioned just now, we focus on Form 4, and the topic that we focus on that particular day was nature and globe trotting. So nature, they come up with a topic. Of course, they have to refer the textbook. Like I said, choose the topic that is in your textbook. Okay, so indirectly, you are actually covering your syllabus. All right. Okay, food bank. Okay, so this is the shelf, and this is the scenario of the food bank. As you can see, the picture on your right, it's written there COVID-19. So this is where we will place the grocery items for the needy students to come and take. Okay, so the center picture is my former principal, Cik Tarmizi. Okay, so launching of the food bank shelf. All right. Okay. We move on. Early bird. This activity is conducted only in assembly. Okay, early bird. So there are two teachers. They come up on the stage. Students will do IQ test, speak, and get your report. So this is the scenario of the early bird at the assembly point. Okay, recently this one launching of hip book that I mentioned just now. So this is the hip book. This is actually the small book, buku 35. All right. But actually we ordered this book in Shopee. All right. So we made the stickers and we paste the stickers on the book. All right. So we paste the stickers on the book and give it after the launching. We gave to each class. So this is the launching. Okay. So what do they have? Okay, like I mentioned, it is very easy for them to carry around everywhere with them. Okay, so this is what actually they have. Something they learn, they write the meaning of the words they discover. I don't say that only when they are outside. No, use this in your classroom. Make them write the words in the book so that this can be a vocabulary book for them, a mini dictionary for them to refer the words that they have learned. Trust me, when we even have this learn phrasal verb a day. Okay, sorry, not a day, a week. So that particular week we will introduce a phrasal verb. Okay, this we did few years back. Okay, but after that we came up with this pocket hip book. Okay. So the phrasal verb, you are given the meaning and also the example of sentence. So in their writing, you can see, we the English teachers, we could see that students actually use those phrasal verb that they have learned in their writing. So indirectly, they are writing, getting better and better, right? So this is another examples. Okay, they write the words. Okay, can be any words, whatever they learn, something new they learn, read that right inside the book. Okay, I'm sure all of you are wondering that is there any difference doing all these things? Okay, let's see the reflection. Okay, yes, this is the impact that we achieve for SPM. So in 2020, 16 pupils obtained A minus and above, right? Whereas the following year, 2021, 24 pupils obtained A minus and above. And then 2022, 29 pupils obtained A minus and above. So you see, as you can see, the figure is 16, 24, and 29. It's increasing. So 2023, it's a question mark. So we hope that, the numbers definitely should increase, hopefully. All right, okay. And also we achieve CEFR level from B1 to C1 for certain students. I don't say that my students all are from the B1 level. Of course, we have A1, we have A2 students, we have the critical students, but somehow rather when they are exposed, at least they have some kind of progress. I don't say that their progress is from A1, they straight go to B1. No. A1 to A2, it is still a progress. Whatever it is, progress is still a progress even though it is small. All right. Okay. Next is we have some achievement in co-academic as well. In this year, we champion, okay, public speaking, Piala Diraja, English for upper secondary, district level, SMK ABC champion, and then we went to state level, 5th place. Okay, this is for upper secondary. Next, Pidato Diraja, this is Bahasa Melayu, okay, for lower secondary, champion in district level, and 3rd place in state level, right? So these are the achievements that you could see. Students are, eager to participate in these co-academic activities. Then essay writing competition, essay Diraja, district level, we get 5th place. Then Dare to Spell competition, district level, 4th place. So as you can see, students are participating in these activities after you give them prepare the platform for them. They're already exposed to so many things. So they feel like, okay, I am brave enough. So it's like, from classroom, beyond the classroom, out of the school, in public. All right, so that is the progress that we could see. Okay, just sharing with you all that SMK, this is actually, we notice, we compare that last year, there were only limited participation in public speaking. This one, I'm specifically talking about public speaking Diraja, participation achievement. So last year was only 10 participants, and that also we supposed to submit the recorded videos. That means you record the videos and submit. Whereas this year it is unlimited, where 50 schools participated. All right, and so we became, like I mentioned just now, champion. All right, so this was done physical. I can say that having this HIP activities exposure, giving them the platform, giving them the space, and creating this kind of environment, it is a great tool to gauge students' interest, overcome their fear, and also confident to participate. So what are the reflection of all these activities? So what we discovered, okay, it is actually an ideal way to enhance pupils' language skills, encourage them to communicate in good level of confidence. So they learn in mastering the language in a fun, easygoing, and no pressure atmosphere. So you try in class, your teacher is talking in front of the class and students with their textbook. It's like one-way communication. So of course, students will sleep in the class, all right? So creates a non-threatening learning environment, increases the level of vocabulary, both oral and written. Students also show eagerness and they are thrilled to participate. They are always one day, they know every Friday is infak Jumaat. Okay, we have this nasi lemak, so they already ask on Thursday, cikgu, besok ada nasi lemak tak? So they're eager to participate. But of course, we will prepare some activities. Okay, the teacher in charge will prepare some activities for them to answer the question or participate or speak. Somehow or other, they must speak in English and get their reward. So here, they're less afraid to make mistakes and open to criticism, and they think positively. So here, they show effort to begin the task and overcome their shyness. Okay, next is they are more enthusiastic to join these non-graded activities in this non-judgmental environment. What I mean to say is non-graded is that, like I said, this is not an exam-oriented, HIP is not exam-oriented activities, but somehow or other it really helpful for the students, especially in speaking and writing, because now we have SPM speaking test, right? So more room are created to speak in English. Okay, they are not only confined in the four walls of classroom. So they are really open. They can learn outside the classroom. So here, this increase the momentum of learning more and more. How do you maintain the momentum? How do you maintain the momentum? Okay, like I mentioned just now, exam is important. I know some of you will say, oh, exam penting. And then, yes, exam is important. But how to gear the students to study for exams? So HIP is one of it. HIP is helpful for the students to gear them to study or do revision. Okay. So one of it, that SPM speaking test. Okay, students do show some progress, rather than, they don't speak at all. Okay, so they still have one or two this one I'm talking the weak students. Okay, here they also create a non-stress atmosphere to learn and embrace English wholeheartedly. They don't run away from English. They call English, come, I'm here, come. All right, okay. No, it's not like they just show their hand. No, I don't want English. It's not that. Now they embrace English wholeheartedly. Okay, so it becoming interesting subject for them. So, like I said, it is not an overnight results. Of course, you need time to see their results. It's not that today you do HIP activity and tomorrow itself you see the results in the students. No, it's not that. Okay, Rome was not built in a day. All right, so consistency is the key. So activity should be done weekly. It's not that you do the first 2 months, after that you take a break, and then like what I said, how do you maintain the momentum? Keep on doing. It's not that you do 2 months, you stop, then you continue again. So you kill the momentum of the students to participate in such activities. You should you should continuously do it. It's a continuous learning process, and it can be part of the PBD, classroom-based activity. So as the students do every time, every week, okay, different activity with different teams, with different topics, so they become better and better. Remember, practice makes perfect. Next, okay, HIP here, what we, in our school, English teachers, we see that HIP has brought great transformation to students' perspective that English language learning is fun. Like I said, they don't run away from English now, okay? They eagerly look for you. They don't run away from the English teacher, all right? And then they develop, another thing is we develop an English-rich speaking environment among students and teachers. In fact, not only the students and teachers, everyone. Even makcik kantin pun ada cakap bahasa Inggeris. Okay, so the community in the school are involved in this HIP, right? The gardener, the canteen, lady, everyone, in fact. All right. Okay, so here I have a video. Now,
My experience in writing the journal was amazing. I did a lot in it. For example, I get to write.
Can you hear the video? No. Just a minute.
My experience in writing the journal was amazing. I did a lot in it. For example, I get to write about the stories that I go through in my daily life, and I also get to express my feelings through it. I really recommend everyone doing this journal, as you could express your feelings as well, and it also changes your mood. For example, if you're feeling moody, when you express your feeling through the journal, you get to feel a little better on that. So I really recommend everyone doing this journal. Thank you.
Okay, this is on journal writing feedback. Let's hear other
My
feedback.
experience in writing the journal was amazing. I did a lot in it. For example, I get.
Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. Terima kasih kepada guru-guru bahasa Inggeris SMK Negeri Bagi Cemor kerana saya dapat lihat usaha cikgu-cikgu bahasa Inggeris ni memang bersungguh-sungguhlah dalam membantu pelajar-pelajar sekolah ini untuk meningkatkan penguasaan bahasa Inggeris, terutamanya melalui program HIP. Guru-guru menyediakan pelbagai gancaran kepada pelajar-pelajar yang boleh berbahasa Inggeris secara spontan je. Kadang-kadang mereka buat pada waktu rehat sahaja, dengan simple-simple soalan bahasa Inggeris. Pelajar yang dapat jawab, kita bagi reward sama ada dalam bentuk duit, alat tulis ataupun makanan. Paling pelajar suka adalah nasi lemak lah yang disediakan oleh cikgu-cikgu bahasa Inggeris sebagai ganjaran kepada pelajar-pelajar ni. Jadi saya rasa program seperti ini sebenarnya dia membantulah menjadi program sokongan kepada panitia bahasa Inggeris. Bukan sekadar panitia saja berusaha untuk meningkatkan, tapi ada program-program sampingan yang menyokong, dan program ini dibuat secara santai dan pelajar pun gembira, suka, dan saya dapati keputusan peperiksaan pun meningkat. Jadi program ini sepatutnya diteruskan, dan saya selaku pentadbir mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada semua cikgu bahasa Inggeris sebab saya dapat lihat komitmen cikgu-cikgu usaha bersungguh-sungguh, sebab kita faham pelajar SMK ABC ni tak boleh nak dibandingkan dengan pelajar convert, tetapi ada banyak pertandingan yang kita sertai. Alhamdulillah ada juga kemenangan untuk pelajar-pelajar SMK ABC. Semuanya adalah hasil usaha daripada guru-guru dan juga program sokongan daripada HIP ni. Saya harap program seumpama ini diteruskan dan pelajar-pelajar SMK Abdul Baki akan dapat bersainglah sama dengan pelajar-pelajar daripada sekolah-sekolah lain dalam penguasaan bahasa Inggeris. Sekian, terima kasih.
Ya, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya cikgu bahasa Melayu. Tapi saya sangat mengkagumilah projek yang dibuat oleh guru-guru bahasa Inggeris. Projek HIP kan. Okay, bagi pada pendapat saya lah sebagai seorang guru, projek ni sangat membantu pelajar-pelajar membina keyakinan diri dan menambahkan kosakata mereka. Dan apa yang saya nampak, pelajar-pelajar berminat untuk menyertai program ni. Jadi ini satu pendekatan yang baik lah dan perlu diteruskan. Itu saja, dan selamat maju jaya. Bagus.
Hi there. Can you tell me something about yourself?
Hi, my name is Tam Yu Heng. I'm from Perak, SMK Amrin Bati Cemor.
And how old are you?
17 years old.
Okay. I just would like to ask you some questions. So you can tell me what you think about it, okay? All right. We have the early bird program in school, right?
Yeah,
Okay. So what do you think about the program?
I think this is a good program. I also have briefly to
You mean bravely?
briefly
Ah,
high confident to ask the
to answer or to ask?
to answer the question.
Okay. So that means when you go and answer the question, you feel your confidence is?
High.
Oh, okay, very good. And then?
And then if I hear the easy question, I quickly to answer the question.
Oh, okay. So you faster go to the stage and answer, is it?
I learn a lot.
Oh, so you learn a lot from your friends and also from the program.
And teacher.
Oh, okay, that's good. Okay, so whenever you answer questions, you will definitely be given a reward or a present. So, what's your feelings after getting the present or the reward?
If I take the present, I'm so very happy and proud.
You're proud.
Proud.
Oh, berani. You bangga dengan diri. That's a good thing. So, will you join this program always?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much, Kam Yuheng.
Yeah. Welcome.
Okay. So that was some feedback that is given by the admin, teachers and students, pendidikan khas student and also other students. So I only share these 3 videos with you. Okay, so as you can see, HIP implementation is not a difficult task to do. Of course, you have to find some time, and this is impossible. Let me take you back from what Encik Faizal has mentioned, the fundamental factors of HIP. All right. So HIP implementation is impossible with this all four. Okay, school admins, teachers, students, and of course parents. All right. It all support each other, collaborate with each other to create this HIP activity in school with our students. Okay. Next, so teachers, what are we waiting for then? Let's explore the garden of knowledge and virtue. Okay. So we, as ESL teachers, should immerse everyone into the program and witness the transformation of English rich speaking domain. Trust me, it will work. Try and see. So this is the teamwork. This is my English panel teachers. So this picture was taken during the best practice sharing in EPLD in Bainun. Okay, the one mentioned by Puan Juliana just now. So we presented some models, okay, teaching materials based on Form 4 textbook. All right, so just sharing with you. So I think with that, thank you. So there is no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening, and back to you, Puan Siti Nur. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Taranjit. We have a question from our viewer, Mr. Ikram. Okay, he asked that since HIP involves the whole school, how do you get everybody to get involved in it? Okay, what did SMK Aminuddin Baki do to ensure that the whole community was involved in HIP?
Okay, like I said just now, we started from the small number of students. So as the students get involved, so the message goes around and they see the friends are participating. So this encourages them. This encourages them to join. So the number increases and increases. It's not that on that particular day you focus, or today I am going to call all the Form 5s to join. No, you don't force. It's just that you prepare the platform and you can see that they are attracted to that. Like I said, the reward. Okay, the reward, and of course when they get the reward, they have the interest to speak in English. Sometimes, the reward can be, like I said, maybe you say, oh, mana nak dapat nasi lemak ni? Okay, alright. Like I said, reward can be anything. Okay, a positive word from the teacher can be a reward. So teacher plays a vital role to bring the students towards learning English. Okay, so they will participate in the activities without, on a voluntary basis. You don't have to force. You don't have to like force them, oh no, oh, I want you to do it. No, they themselves will volunteer. Okay, and any other question?
That's it from me, Mr. Ranjit. Thank you very much for your insightful sharing. Okay, we have come near the end of our session for today. Now, the our crew is trying to edit the attendance link. Now, if you have problems, could you please put in your email address at the bahagian IC, and then later on we'll try to get in touch for. Okay, there's a new one. Okay, there's a new one in the link in the comment for the attendance link. Please try to fill in that form for your seats later on. Okay, Alhamdulillah, we have reached the end of our show. Now, as we embark on this journey of ESL education transformation, let us remember that integrating best teaching practices into our immersive programs is not merely a choice, okay? It is a necessity for achieving excellence in education. Together, we can create a brighter, more inclusive, and more globally aware Malaysia while striving to achieve the objectives of ensuring program continuity, supporting schools, and creating a platform for sharing best practices. Now remember, HIP is not just a program, it's a vision for a brighter educational future in Malaysia. Now, teachers have the flexibility to design engaging, context-specific lessons. They can foster a dynamic learning environment and results in a more effective and responsive educational experience. So this will definitely foster autonomy to students, empowering students to take ownership of their own learning. Okay, by participating in HIP, students will definitely develop essential skills. Now, thank you to our speakers, Encik Faisal, Puan Juliana, and Miss Charanjit. Okay, I would like to give last words from our speakers. Encik Faisal, 1 minute.
Okay, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Puan Hasanah. She's unable to be here. She's in Bukit Kiara. And then to our sound engineer backstage, Mr. Rizwan, right? Puan Juliana and Chananji, thank you for the excellent presentation. And you, Puan Siti Nur, thank you so much for having here. Okay, thank you.
Okay, Puan Juliana.
Okay, thank you all for listening. Thank you for JPN for providing us the opportunity to share. And I hope all of us will embrace HIP as part as something that come naturally and effective avenue for us to improve English language. Thank you very much, everyone.
Okay, Miss Charanjit.
Yeah, I would like to say thank you to once again, thank you JPN and PT for giving me the chance to share, and I hope the best practice that I share today, it is bring a lot of benefit to teachers out there, and at least they have wider perspective in embracing HIP in their schools. You see, if you have to start it, otherwise this would not be possible. Like what I mentioned just now, how do we attract teachers or students to participate? sometimes they are not English teachers, but they begin to speak in English and they start to have more confident in speaking, even though the English are broken. So in short, I just would like to say that HIP is like a ripple of water. All right. So the more stones you throw, the bigger ripple of water you get. Thank you.
Okay, thank you viewers for your attention, and I look forward to the fruitful discussions and collaborations that will shape the future of ESL learning in our secondary schools in Perak. Okay, I would like to thank our speakers once again, Encik Faisal, Puan Juliana and Ms. Charanjit for sharing their valuable insights. Now don't forget to join us tomorrow for our Inspire session with teachers who will share their best teaching practices at 2:30 p.m. See you tomorrow. Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.